A family of 4 enters a peaceful park in Kentucky, but they never make it out alive. Their bodies are found brutally massacred, killed by something with inhuman strength. Authorities claim it wasn't a bear or any known animal. Then black SUVs arrive, and suddenly the entire incident is wiped from existence. No news coverage, no official reports, just silence. What really happened that night, and why was it covered up? Stay tuned, because the truth is more terrifying than you could ever imagine. But before we dive in, let us know what part of the world are you watching this from and at what time. And don't forget to subscribe to this new and growing channel, as it helps me a lot. Thank you for watching. Let's dive in. The land between the lakes, also known as LBL, stretches across 170,000 acres of pristine American wilderness, a place where families go to disconnect, to fish, to hike, to camp beneath the stars. But this land holds secrets, terrifying, bloody, buried secrets. In the early 1980s, a family, father, mother, teenage son, and young daughter, drove into those woods for a weekend escape. They parked at a quiet, isolated campground. 3 days later, they were gone. No news reports, no police file, only whispers, only silence, and a messy government cover-up. But some people still remember, and some wish they could forget. Some kept their silence, while some stepped forward to tell the truth. The truth about what happened that fateful night at Kentucky's land between the lakes. LBL, as it's often called, lies between Kentucky Lake and Lake Barkley, a thin, forested peninsula running over 40 miles long. It's beautiful. Lush forests, hidden trails, abandoned military buildings swallowed by time, a paradise for those who seek solitude. But locals say the woods watch you back. Native American tribes spoke of skinwalkers, shapeshifters that could take the form of beasts. Early European settlers carved crosses into tree trunks, hoping to ward off creatures they claimed had yellow eyes and ran like men, but with the speed of wolves. Throughout the 20th century, hunters and hikers have reported seeing a large canine-like creature on 2 legs. Some call it the Beast of LBL, others more simply the Dogman. It's said to be about 7 to 8 feet tall, with elongated limbs, a massive head like a German shepherd, and teeth that glint even without light. And worst of all, it's smart. Too smart to be an animal, too fast to be human. The family arrived on a Thursday afternoon. A mid-sized camper, an old Ford truck, bikes strapped to the back. The father was said to be in his late 30s, an auto mechanic from Indiana. The mother was a teacher. The kids, one teen boy around 14 and a younger girl around 8. A local fisherman remembers seeing them at the gas station in Grand Rivers just before they entered the recreation area. They seemed nice, regular folks. The dad bought firewood. The little girl was excited about s'mores. I remember because she asked if bears lived out here. He told her, "No bears, sweetheart, just deer and raccoons." They picked a campsite deep in the northern part of the land, far from main roads, with trees towering on all sides, isolated, peaceful, vulnerable. It started sometime after midnight. A nearby camper, who later came forward anonymously, said he heard footsteps heavy ones. Not hoofbeats, not paws. Something walking upright, but not human. Then came a low growl that made the hair on his neck stand up, followed by a single high-pitched scream, then a second scream, deeper, more guttural. Then silence. He packed up and left before sunrise. The next morning, a hiker found the campsite. The camper trailer's side was shredded, as if something with claws had torn through aluminum like paper. The awning poles were snapped, the tent slashed open. Blood was everywhere. The father was found first, impaled on a tree branch nearly 10 feet off the ground, ribs exposed. The mother and daughter were discovered about 30 yards into the woods, partially buried under pine needles. Their bodies mutilated, parts missing. It wasn't scavenging, it was feeding. But the most disturbing detail? The boy was never found. No body, no blood trail, just deep drag marks in the dirt that ended abruptly, as if whatever took him simply lifted him off the ground and vanished into the trees. Now, any rational person would think this would make headlines. It didn't. There were no news reports, no official statements, and most suspiciously, no missing persons report ever filed. Not for the family, not even a trace. But what did happen is more chilling. A former park ranger using a false name, Mason, came forward in a 2005 online interview. He claims he was the first on the scene before being relieved by federal agents. I got there before 8 a.m. The bodies hadn't been moved. I called it in. But within 45 minutes, I was told to leave. A black SUV pulled up, then another. Men in tactical gear came out. No badges, no names. They cordoned off the area, took photos, took samples, then told me this never happened. Mason said his own report was erased. His Park Service file was later flagged with a warning not to speak to the press. Another local source, a fireman, reported strange activity that same week. Helicopters flying low at night, checkpoints on side roads, and military personnel stationed at the entrance to LBL for a training exercise. Tourists were told the park was closed due to flooding, but it hadn't rained in over a week. The story of the massacre never left the region. Locals still talk about it in hushed tones. Some claim they know the names of the family. Others say they were from out of state and never even existed on paper. But one thing is certain, sightings never stopped. In 1993, a group of bow hunters said they saw something stalking them from the ridge. Tall, upright, canine. One shot an arrow at it. It didn't flinch. It just stared, then walked back into the trees. In 2002, a pair of ATV riders claimed a creature chased them for nearly 2 miles, keeping pace through brush and over hills at over 40 miles per hour. And in 2015, a woman camping with friends said she saw a massive black-furred creature watching them from the tree line, standing on 2 legs just inside the firelight. She said its eyes glowed like embers. The Dogman isn't a mere story, it's a recurring presence. What happened in LBL that night? Was it a freak animal attack? A bear? A pack of wolves? Veteran hunters say the injuries weren't consistent with any known predator. Bears don't decapitate victims. Wolves don't drag prey 20 feet into trees. Others believe in something darker, that the government knows about a predatory species living in remote regions. That experiments, maybe genetic ones, conducted in now abandoned bunkers in the area, escaped into the wild. Whatever it was, they covered it up, fast, efficiently, quietly, like they'd done it before. If you ever visit the land between the lakes, pay attention to the forest. If the birds stop singing, if the crickets go quiet, if your dog won't stop growling at the trees, it might already be watching you. And if you hear heavy footsteps in the night, don't grab your flashlight. Don't go outside. Just pray it moves on, because whatever attacked that family wasn't an animal, and it wasn't alone. The land between the lakes remains open to the public. No official record of this incident exists, but the legend lives on.